Middlesex District Attorney Gerry Leone not pleased at all that a repeat drunk driver has gotten out of jail early. That driver was the subject of a Fox Undercover investigation.
In July, a district court judge locked up Scott Green for a year, but just 1 month later, Green is now back at home in Wakefield, and it doesn't end there. Investigative reporter Mike Bodette discovered early releases like this are becoming more common.
Repeat drunk driver Scott Green lost his license for life in 2005. But that didn't stop him from getting behind the wheel. Police arrested him for driving without a license in March. And then we caught him driving yet again a few weeks later. Last month, Green pleaded guilty and the judge sentenced him to a year in jail. But now we've learned Green is benefiting from a jail program that allows inmates to go home early.
This was Scott Green last month in Woburn District Court, heading off to jail after Judge Timothy Gailey sentenced Green to a year in custody for driving without a license. But just 4 weeks later, the Middlesex Sheriff's Office released Green.
Scott Green shouldn't be on the street. He shouldn't have been on the street 1 day earlier than what the court sentenced him to, which was a year in jail.
Middlesex District Attorney Gerry Leone says he considers Green a violent offender since he's been arrested for drunk driving 5 times.
When someone like a Scott Green, with his profile as a violent offender, and one who has, frankly, shown a reckless disregard for the court's orders when they told him not to drive previously. When you get that kind of a profile, in my mind, that's not someone who has earned the right to premature early release.
Fox Undercover exposed Green's reckless disregard for a court order in May, after we found him back behind the wheel just 16 days after police arrested him for driving without a license.
You have a case pending, and we've been watching you, and we've seen you driving since your arrest.
I have not been driving.
Well, we have you on video driving, sir.
I have not been driving.
Well, I'd love to show you the videotape, because you have been driving.
I have not been driving.
Do you think you're above the law?
Excuse me. No, sir.
And neither did Judge Gailey, who, after watching our investigation, revoked Green's bail. Which brings us back to last month, when Green changed his tune, pleaded guilty to driving without a license, and got the year in jail. Green received credit for the 2 months he served when his bail was revoked, and then spent another month in jail. Then the Middlesex Sheriff's Office placed Green on house arrest, giving him a GPS bracelet. He's allowed to leave almost every day of the week for reasons ranging from community service to classes that include anger management and relapse prevention.
It seems like Green caught a lucky break here.
Well, Green certainly is on the street before he should be. And with his profile, he's very fortunate to have been afforded the opportunity to have GPS take the place of incarceration, which is where he should be.
He's on a house arrest. He's under constant surveillance. He's not allowed to leave his home. It's prison without walls.
James DePaula is the Middlesex sheriff.
D.A. Leone says Scott Green should be in custody right now.
Well, I can sympathize with the district attorney for feeling that way, and sometimes the general public feels that way. And if I had my way, Scott Green would be in jail right now. I wouldn't have been making this kind of a decision this early in his sentence.
Sheriff DePaula blames budget cuts, which he says have forced him to release inmates early. Green is currently one of 22 inmates in Middlesex County out of jail before their sentences are completed. They're under house arrest and monitored by GPS.
Those are all his movements right there, see? Those are all him.
Sheriff DePaula says only nonviolent offenders are eligible, and only after they've served their minimum mandatory sentences, which in Green's case was 60 days.
Leone says Scott Green is a violent offender. He's a repeat drunk driver. How would you respond to that?
Well, drunk driving is a very serious crime, and it's something that we take very seriously at the Sheriff's Office when someone's incarcerated for it. His actual crime that he's sentenced for now, though, is driving without a license, not drunk driving. So that's what we're punishing him for now, and that's what we're rehabilitating him for now.
What's to stop Scott Green from getting right back behind the wheel right now?
Well, right now, if he was to get behind the wheel, if we're not there watching it, or if you're not there watching it, I guess that could happen.
Sheriff DePaula says Green has a driver, and his office is randomly testing Green to make sure he's not drinking. So far, his tests have come back clean. Green did not respond to our request to comment on this story, but the sheriff says Green told him he's now learned his lesson. We tried to get reaction from Judge Gailey, who sentenced Green to a year in jail, but we're told he can't talk about the case. If you have an idea for a Fox Undercover investigation, call us at 1-800-TV-FOX25. I'm Mike Bodette for Fox Undercover.